Okay, hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this cold, dark night as we continue our sensational lineup for this year's Trias reading series with Kendra Infinite Allen. Someone that's literally her middle name, someone so amazing that she, in fact, fully lives up to that middle name. Please know that after tonight, Trias will be co-sponsoring with Seneca Review Books, a reading by Catherine Indermar in 2 weeks on December 1st. As with tonight, that will be on a Thursday at 7 p.m. in this very venue. It is also free and open to the public, so tell your friends. If you haven't already, this is as much a note for myself, if you could remember to silence your cell phones to make sure that they don't start vibrating against your seat halfway through the reading. I'd like to start by thanking the English department, Writing and Rhetoric, Sarah Kirk, and the Provost Office for their support. Thank you also to the Trias Committee, Melanie Conroy Goldman, Catherine Coles, and Ben Risto. A very big thanks to Sue Gage, who makes everything happen seamlessly and smoothly. I would like to thank Peter Trias, our patron saint of creative writing here at HWS. Peter Trias graduated from Hobart College in 1970, earned his MFA in poetry 2 years later from the Iowa Writers Workshop, and in 1976 published a book of poems, The House in Venice. He was a man of many talents who would go on to achieve great success in real estate. His generosity makes it possible to bring world-renowned writers to HWS, have them teach a workshop for a semester, curate a reading series for the campus, and hold a small tutorial in the spring. The Trias program has been thriving for over a decade, and we owe our deepest gratitude to Peter Trias for his enduring gift. I would also like to thank Ed Rothfarb, Peter's life partner, who recently visited HWS. Thank you, Ed, for the gift of your visit, for deepening and further enriching an already strong bond between Peter and HWS. And finally, I would like to thank Grant Hawley, our late colleague and friend. Grant was a loyal and enthusiastic supporter of the Trias program, an indispensable presence, and often a very lively center of so many Trias dinners and social occasions, a true blue advocate for Trias programming, someone who fully appreciated all that Trias has to offer. So Grant, we offer you our profound thanks. And now for our beloved Trias writer-in-residence who will introduce our headliner, I give you the fabulous Jenny Booley.
I was so nervous today, and then I realized I'm not the one reading, but I'm nervous to be introducing Kendra because what can one ultimately say? So I'm so thrilled to be introducing Kendra Allen, who I first met in my advanced nonfiction workshop less than a lifetime ago. I was immediately struck by what I can only say is Kendra's Kendra-ness, a personality that is so unique as to demand its own branding, a personality so sincere and delightful and sparkling that one feels just simply euphoric in her presence. What's more, she impressed me on the first day of class by proclaiming that she absolutely loved James Baldwin. I knew I was dealing with a serious and daring student. Her essays in class dove directly into her childhood, her present, her experiences being just this very Kendra. She tackled issues of race and coming of age as a Black daughter in Texas, where she grew up. Kiese Lemon hails Kendra's book, When You Learn the Alphabet, as, quote, a roaring meditation on what Black daughters in our nation do with what and how they've been taught. She wrote about going abroad to Paris and the ways in which her body moved through travel as opposed to white bodies. Of that trip, she writes, quote, I brought everyone I knew a souvenir back just to say I made it, because they know, just like I know, we ain't even supposed to be here. We, me, black, broke, the first of people I know who have ever been this far on the wrong side of privilege, end quote. I have to stop here and say that it is truly remarkable what Kendra has achieved. Kendra entered the MFA program at the University of Alabama after graduating from Columbia College Chicago. She will be writing a thesis next year. We're going back in time. She isn't even done with coursework, and here she is giving a reading of her book that won the nonfiction prize from the University of Iowa Press. I knew Kendra was talented and wasn't afraid to take on discomfort in her writing, but it wasn't until I read her essays collected together in her book that I realized just how amazingly and deeply gifted and astute she is. How she subtly builds strength in her essays, yet how she isn't afraid of setting off the necessary explosions when she needs to. And she is always needing to. She is always needing to make her thoughts heard. She learned the alphabet the hard way, and now she is exploding it. Where is Kendra Allen supposed to be? She belongs in the company of other strong female writers, such as Claudia Rankine, Roxane Gay, Bell Hooks, who aren't ashamed or afraid to write how their bodies and experiences define and bend and sometimes break them. Every generation has its seer, a writer of radical, fierce talent who tells it true, who writes being and identity like a punch in the gut. Kendra is her generation's sharpshooter. And I meant that when I wrote it. When I wrote that in 2009, for an introduction I gave to Kendra in 2019, 2009, 2019.
Time's not right.
Right, it's not. This was the introduction I wrote for Kendra when she was invited back to her alma mater, where I was teaching, Columbia College Chicago, from her newly published collection of essays, When You Learn the Alphabet. And in that introduction, I asked, where is Kendra Allen supposed to be? For her, I prophesized that she would essentially be embedded in the literary starscape. She lit a rocket, and then she just kept zooming and going, and now she's the whole sky and the whole universe. I don't think Kendra was done with her MFA at the University of Alabama when she got a 2-book deal. She got a 2-book deal, with a major press, with HarperCollins. This is the stuff that poets can only dream of because it doesn't happen. You can only dream of that because it doesn't happen, okay? It is a huge accomplishment. So one thinks, did she even have time to dream this dream? Or was she just busy being who it was that she was becoming? A talent that was quickly taking over the universe. Her book of poems, The Collection Plate, was published in 2021. If you read the jacket copy, you'll see I was right in my predictions that she would be her generation's voice. That jacket copy reads, quote, "The collection plate is a testament to Allen's place as the voice of a generation and a witness to how we come into being in the 21st century." I could not wait to read Kendra's memoir, Fruit Punch, which was released this year. In it, Kendra Allen writes, quote, "Everybody start assuming the moon on my skin is a birthmark, a waxing crescent, cater-cornered on the left side of my left thigh due to the way it's misplaced, the way it looked infinite. Maybe that's the reason L.A. gave me it as a middle name and wasn't trying to be funny at all. Like she really thought I'd last forever. Like my first permanent scar ain't a scar, but a birthright, a blood oath, end quote. Kendra, I'm going to assume, as others have, that your place among greats is writ in the stars, is fated, is your birthright, is your blood oath. Your works and your talent will be infinite, and your books will be read by humans long after you enter the stars for real. I will never cease to be amazed by your brilliance. I feel so lucky to know you and to read your words. I invited you to read as part of this series, not because I once taught you, but because you are one of my most favorite people and one of my most favorite authors, and because you teach me. Each book you publish is a souvenir to how far you've come, and you bring them back to us. You can find out more about Kendra Allen at her website, www.kendracanyou.com. I ask where Kendra should be. I place her beyond and beyond and beyond. Kendra also asks questions about Kendra. Kendra, can you? Oh my God, Kendra, yes, yes you can. You are, you will, you always will. Please welcome Kendra Allen.
Thank y'all for coming. That'll be all. There's nothing more to say. Dang, like I don't know what's happening. Thank you, Jenny. I remember sitting in Jenny's classroom and just falling in love with like the art of the essay. Like most of us, we never really know what it is. Like somebody say, take creative nonfiction, and you like, what? Like, and even when you're in the class, you're still like, what? Like, but Jenny had a way of like just making you love it and making you be aware that you can be yourself. So thank you forever. Thank y'all for having me here. I've been having a great time with Jeff and Jenny, and in y'all library I've been writing. And I was thinking like, what can I read for a bunch of college students who really don't want to be here at 7 o'clock in 30-degree weather? And I was like, what can we all relate to? And I'm going to read from my memoir, which is a childhood memoir. I'm always going to just stand the childhood existence, the coming of age story, because we kind of don't take it as seriously as we need to. We've all been kids, we've all been children, we all experienced firsts that people look over and it's like, nah, they like ruined my life. Or like, nah, I have forever trauma based on these things. So I'm going to read about being 14 years old. Everybody in here has been 14 years old. Even just saying 14, you're like, oh my God. Like either you're in middle school or like going into high school, and it's like a weird time. You're having your first everything, your first crushes, your first blah, 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 whatever. Okay, but for me, something that you need to know if you read my first book is that a lot of my childhood was dealing with my daddy cheating on my mama and like me trying to hide it because I didn't. Feel free to laugh as well. Like this seems like very dark, but you know, let's laugh. Let's laugh through the pain. So let's make this an interactive experience. That was my childhood. So when I got 14, I had like my first fake boyfriend. And then I started being like, oh, I'm really my daddy's child. I might be my daddy, or like, I might be my mama. Who am I? So I'm going to read you a story about when I was 14. I'm going to say I'm 14 no less than 1,000 times. I'm sorry, but repetition is my favorite literary device, and it gets me through life. And yes, it's about like my first fake boyfriend and how he walked me to school with a hickey on his neck that I did not give him. And yeah, okay, you can laugh, y'all, I promise, it's fine. And it's called Heartbreak Hand-Me-Downs. I'm 14, and Heartbreak, that's what I named him, Heartbreak, so yeah. I'm 14, and Heartbreak never walks to school with us more than we walk from school together. I'm 14, and the long, winding, raggedy cement road on the other side of traffic that we ease on down leads to Maynard H. Jackson. I'm 14, and it's encapsulated the last 5 years of our lives. Switching from elementary to middle school and houses all of our best days. I'm 14, and since we've been kept together longer than expected, we feel like a family. I'm 14, and today Heartbreak acting like we just met. I'm 14, and all of a sudden the pattern we spend years mapping out needs to be guided. I'm 14, and we pass through the lot and past Good Luck, where we buy link sandwiches and milkshakes after school. I'm 14, and Heartbreak looks both ways for everyone before screaming at us to go. I'm 14, and we don't care if cars are coming or not, but we break free from one another and haul ass across the double-sided street. I'm 14, and horns honk as we run crookedly across. I'm 14, and nobody is afraid of dying. I'm 14, and we learning what it means to be front row and frantic in a secondary state of fearlessness and fragility. I'm 14, and Heartbreak give cars the finger because it's nothing weighing him down in this moment. Not a backpack or a pencil in sight, but his knuckles are always bruised. I'm 14, and we race, but I'm last because running. I got asthma, y'all, I can't do it. I'm 14, and these are our last days together. I'm 14, and it's kind of perfect, the end, but don't nobody want to admit that yet. I'm 14, and Heartbreak on me more than usual, not literally, but in a complimentary way. I'm 14, and we don't be holding hands or nothing, but he be holding on to me. I'm 14, and find it weird since I ain't even answered the phone for him last night. I'm 14, and we walk in the middle of roads because they're ours. I dance in streets. I hesitate. I run. I'm 14, and a woman dropping off her kids yells out the window, "Get your applehead ass out the street." And my friends die laughing. I'm 14, and I think these types of happenings are the reason Heartbreak think he loved me for the moment. I'm 14, and Heartbreak pulls me back by my arm so I won't get hurt. I'm 14, and he keep mistaking my impulsiveness for being honest or free. I don't know. I'm 14, and we don't know how reckless it can get because we 14. I'm 14, and Heartbreak telling my friends something about love with my name in the middle loud enough for me to hear, even though next year she'll tell me how he tried to holler once I go to a different high school. I'm 14, and I roll my eyes out of the sockets and push his arms to alert him to hush. I'm 14, and love kind of embarrassing, even if I feel it. Somebody relate to that. I'm 14, and my friend is laughing because I lied and told her I'd never say it back, even if it took me a long time to do so. I'm 14, and he said it after 1 week, but he always been a liar. I'm 14, and that was almost 2 years ago. I'm 14, and he done said it so much he convinced himself that he do. I'm 14, and something feels off. He being way too nice, when our kind of nice is with your applehead ass and not know you look good today. People get themselves away, bro. I promise. Okay. I'm 14 when my friend stands directly in front of me and asks, have I seen Heartbreak's neck? I'm 14 and we all got gym 8th period. I'm 14 and she sits down next to the empty desk I'm in. I'm 14 and I say, nah, cause I ain't seen his neck. I'm 14 and Heartbreak playing floor hockey like he getting paid for it. Swinging the stick with a power that's semi-funny considering the effort of everybody else playing. I'm 14 and I know whatever he tries, he good at. Football, running, hiding, drawing, paying attention. I'm 14 and I see him see what's happening because he drops his hockey stick and approaches us, or me. I don't know. I'm 14 and I immediately get the impression that everybody but me already know whatever it is my friend is referring to. I lost my spot. I'm 14 and with every step Heartbreak takes toward us, it becomes clearer and bigger until the thing on his neck looks like a birthmark. I'm 14 and asking myself, how didn't I see it this morning? And why don't I pay attention to other people's bodies the way I need to, especially the bodies close to my own? I'm 14 and once he in front of me, I raise his chin like he's my child. I'm 14 and the imprint blends flawlessly into the flesh between his clavicle and Adam's apple. It's some nice skin, smooth, shaded in a sweet violet undertone, shaped like a lopsided heart. I'm 14 and I want to wipe out his windpipe, at least collapse his entryway and watch him suffocate. I don't condone violence, y'all, I've changed. I'm 14 and I don't got much experience with boys, but I done had enough run-ins with men to know the games ain't that different. I'm 14 and I believe in him starting young, how it's a type of molding, a crowning. I'm 14 and I let my hand fall from his face. I'm 14 and I tell him, you can go. I'm 14 and he sucks his teeth like I'm the one getting on his nerves. I'm 14, but he backs away. I'm 14 and for the rest of our gym period, Heartbreak sends all of our mutual friends over to explain his hickey, but I done took off my ears. I'm 14 and when the bell rings, our coaches push us out the back door like roaches, and we start our journey back across the field. I'm 14, and as long as we've been around, the grass ain't never been alive. It'll never be nothing more than a shortcut we take to get back to the street, to get back to good luck. I'm 14, and what always starts off as a mob of us usually disperses into our core group. I'm 14 and ain't said nothing to nobody since seeing, and somebody say plain and dry, she mad cause you keep lying. I'm 14 and I don't know why I'm mad. I'm 14 and he started pulling on my arm and mentions not lying. I'm 14 and touch makes me open my mouth more than whatever else I'm supposed to be processing. I'm 14 and I say, let me go, bro, and continue to walk away from the group. Being 14 is so dramatic, or maybe that was just like me. Yeah, I'm 14 and I don't think any of them have ever seen me upset, so they don't know what to do. I'm 14 and I find myself searching for safety and solitude and sugar. I'm 14 And Heartbreak, who ain't never offered to buy me nothing since I've been knowing him, tries to pay for my milkshake. I'm 14 and decline his money, but I keep all the gifts and other things he's made me. Rosaries and letters and self-portraits and rings. I'm 14 and I try to walk past him with my stuff, but he grabs me and won't let me move. I'm 14 and part of me stands there to see who he lies like. I'm 14 and the answer is nobody special. I'm 14 and I didn't know feelings that took so long to develop could die in one conversation. I'm 14 and the next day after school, I sit around talking to my favorite teacher to avoid the field. I'm 14 when she laugh and say, I saw you and Heartbreak fighting yesterday. I'm 14 and I press my thumb to my forehead, shake my head and laugh too, but really I'm about to cry. I'm 14 and Heartbreak always on a lot of girls' minds, but mostly mine. I'm 14 and everybody in the school knows I'm capable, but I'm just a girl. I'm 14 and I don't believe in being in love like that, but I be telling him I love him sometimes. I'm 14 and I use the signature Kendra and Heartbreak after every text I send to him, but not to nobody else because I'm ashamed after they know things. I'm 14 and Heartbreak say he waited in the rain for me and I never showed, and I could have at least told him I wasn't coming. I'm 14 and I don't really give a damn about his feelings once he walks me to school with a hickey from another girl on his neck. I'm 14 and if you hurt my feelings, I'm gonna make you feel it. I'm 14 and I sit on his lap during the last week of school and he thinks I forgave him, but I'm already plotting on disappearing from his life. I'm 14 and Complicated by Nivea is my MySpace song because I'm dramatic. I'm 14 and Complicated by Avril Lavigne is his ringtone because I'm clear. What a time, man. Did y'all have MySpace? I don't think so. Okay. I could have been a coder making millions, but look, whatever, it's in the past, okay? I'm 14 and I don't see the point in claiming nobody, so I don't. I'm 14 and we broke up, but I see him at the fair with way too many people, and he stops everyone's walk to look at me differently when I'm outside of my school clothes. I'm 14 and he grabs my mouth, admires my teeth and lips and face, and no matter what, is always proud of me. I'm 14 and he buys me an ice cream as an apology, but I let the cream melt down my knuckles because I'm still mad. I'm 14 and I never lick my wounds. I'm 14 and never had a hickey. I'm 14 and he looked me dead in the face and tell me it's not a hickey on his neck. I'm 14 and he's 14 and can't tell good lies, but he knows how to stick to a story. I'm 14 and want to fight multiple men. I'm 14 and Heartbreak is ready to fight over me when another boy treats me better than he does. I'm 14 and grasps how everyone who says they love me swings first. I'm 14 and I'm already over this boy-girl shit. It's boring. I'm 14 and he touches my legs under the table of our 8th grade prom. I'm 14 and finally over him, but it ain't hit him yet. I'm 14 and he looks up and I look down and I want touch, but I don't know from who. I'm 14 and we spend more time together now than we did then, even though he's not waiting outside for me after school no more. I'm 14 and he's picking me up spinning me around and setting me down on the green high voltage box outside of the gym. I'm 14, and he ain't come to school today because he got sent to an alternative school for 6 weeks. I'm 14, and he's showing up for the new girl who transferred to our school like 5 days ago. I'm 14, and they go together. I'm 14, and he got her same way he got me. I'm 14, and we both wait on different people. I'm 14, and he stands over me not as a declaration of possession, but to show off how excessive he can be. I'm 14, and he tells me I always miss you while we wait on different things. I'm 14, and I'll never feel this good and this bad again. I'm 14 and remembering how my mama told me heartbreak is the worst pain she's ever felt. I'm 14 and me or my mama don't even know I'm heartbroken. I'm 14 and sneaking to read his letter under a textbook during computer class. That's a time too. I learned how to type at school. That's weird. Okay. I'm 14 and he says I'm the one keep breaking up with him. I'm 14, and he promises not to hurt me again. I'm 14 and low-key offended he got the audacity to think I'll let him do it twice. I'm 14, and he says he hopes we still together before telling me we gonna always be together. That's a flag, y'all. I'm 14, and Mr. Hen and Miss Wynn tell me rings and things is a move to get the panty draws, and I better not be giving heartbreak no nothing. I'm 14, and my friends keep reassuring me I can have heartbreak whenever I want, and I ask them to please stop talking to me because that ain't the compliment they think it is. I'm 14, when the new girl makes space to tell the entire classroom that heartbreak already says he loves her and that they're forever. I'm 14, and this kid shit should feel more kid-friendly. I'm 14, and I'm not mad at her or him. I'm 14, and he hands me what I think is another letter as we pass through the halls to our next period. I'm 14, and it's not a letter, but a picture he drew of himself with my first name, accompanied by his last name, inside of a heart that I'll keep as a memory, but not for a sentiment. I'm 14 and tired of things that aren't for certain. I'm 14, and this back and forth shit is for the birds. I'm 14, and his new girl finally comes out the gym door, and he hugs me by right in front of her. I'm 14, and I learned my lessons the first time. I'm 14, and I never see his penis, but I be hearing a lot about it. I'm 14, and I know I'm getting fucked, but not in the same way she about to be. Oh my God. Being a teenager, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm 13, and all Christmas break, heartbreak keep asking me, will he be my first? I'm 13, and my daddy snatches my phone out of my hand and reads all the text of me lying and saying, yeah. I'm 13, and my daddy don't speak to me until nighttime the next day. I'm 13, and he talks to me about boys being transactional instead of talking to me about who he is. I'm 13, and before I go to softball practice, I meet heartbreak behind one of the ISS portables. Did y'all have ISS? Anybody was in ISS? Look, I love the Odyssey, same. Behind one of the ISS portables. I'm 13, and my cousin's nickname for me is A-Cup. I'm 13, and I know affection, but I still need assistance with hand stuff. I'm 13, and I'm nervous about nipple hair. I'm 13, and I rest my back against the portable slack as heartbreak takes my barely there breast out of my sports bra and sucks. Same way I would have that ice cream cone. I'm 13, and I'm staring at a blank wall waiting to feel something better, but I only feel 9. I'm 13, and I'm scared about getting caught, but it feels good outside. I'm 13, and I move his mouth around anyway and watch him turn into my baby. I'm 13, and I lose things for him. I'm 13, when a boy in class catches my attention and grabs at his own A cups and pretends to lick. I'm 13, and I get convenient. I'm 13, and deny like a man. I'm 13, when I start reminding myself of my father. I'm 13, and heartbreak and I win most popular but not most compatible. I'm 13, and he gets mad at me for rating Chain a 10 and him a 9 on the finest boys in our grade list that's going around. I'm 13, and he don't understand I was ranking looks, not prominence. I'm 13, and heartbreak's never been mean to me, but sometimes we still treat each other very poorly. I'm 13, and I think him and I make each other feel definite. I'm 13, and heartbreak texts me the lyrics to a Plies song after I break up with him again. Anybody in here know who Plies is? Look, we here with it. Plies just a rapper from Florida. He's very country. Okay, I'm 13, and he texts me the lyrics to a Plies song after I break up with him again. I'm 13, and the text says, "You can be stupid and give me away if you want to." Like I don't know he texted me the lyrics to a Plies song. I'm 13, and respond quickly to threats. I'm 13, and can feel Chain staring at me from across the gym floor during a basketball game. I'm 13, when a Chain message goes around about revealing a year-end secret to the sender, and Chain replies with, "I love you," but I panic because he's not heartbreak. I'm 13, and heartbreak asks me, why would I ask? That's not what that says. I'm 13, and heartbreak asks, why would he ask me to put myself all over his MySpace page if I wasn't the only one he loved? MySpace had weight, man. I'm 13, when I say I ain't finna do all that and read his messages instead. I'm 13, when my algebra teacher separates me from heartbreak's lips outside of his classroom before the bell for 5th period. I'm 13, when I start reminding myself of my mother. I'm 13, and heartbreak breaks up with me for the first and only time. I'm 13, and I'm avoiding him because ain't nothing to talk about, and he avoided me because he got back with old girl. I'm 13, and keep trying to manifest him through my thoughts, hoping it'll make him text me. I'm 13, and sitting in church while my cousin is using my phone to text a girl when he does. I'm 13, when my cousin reads the text before I do and asks if heartbreak is my boyfriend or something while laughing at whatever it is he read. I'm 13, and would rather die than have him knowing my heart has feelings. I'm 13, and I snatch my phone back out of his hand. Tell him don't worry about me and what I'm doing when he needs to be worried about getting his lineup fixed. I'm 13, and in love with heartbreak, but apprehensive about believing it because I already know the outcome of love. I'm 13, and he started acting like I'm the only girl in the world. I'm 13, and my mama says she hope I don't think I got a boyfriend after he posts up in her car window and calls her his mother-in-law. I'm 13, And he says every time he hears Suffocate, he thinks of me because he knows it's my favorite song. I'm 13, and he got a little bit of game. Why do music gets me to this day? That's sad. Okay, I'm 13, and he definitely having sex, just not with me. I'm 13, and these boys I'm dealing with sense something in me I cannot pronounce. I'm 13, but I got 3 boyfriends at the same time. I'm 13, and I lied to Heartbreak about kissing Low in the back of computer class when he was away at alternative school. I'm 13, and I only kissed Low once, but it feel way better than kissing him. I'm 13, and I can't stop thinking about it. I'm 13, and I really like Low, but I do him wrong and stop talking to him once Heartbreak returns. I'm 13, and I take it back. Heartbreak ain't got no game. I'm just dumb. I'm 13, and I know that none of this really counts, but it feels like he has to. I'm 13 and learning a type of tolerance I wish it wasn't so easy to adapt to. I'm 13 and a boy I like makes me cry for the only time. I'm 13 when I make Chain sing Yo after English class and this is how we start going together. I'm 13 and we look good on paper, but that's not enough. Oh, wait, what did I just say? Okay, that's not enough. I know how to read, y'all, I promise. I'm 13 and we look good on paper and I should like him more, but I already like Heartbreak. I'm 13 and me and his relationship is a bunch of hugs throughout the day. That's a time. I feel like people can relate to that. We just hug in the hallway and then don't speak until the next day. I'm 13, and he is debatably the cutest boy in our grade, and we like each other, but still, it ain't enough. I'm 13, and don't respect nothing that make me wait unnecessarily, and he shouldn't have to either. I'm 13, and have my first kiss in the back cubicle of Mr. Henn's class after school. I'm 13, and Heartbreak leads me into the room on purpose. I'm 13 when my friend insinuates how I'm already acting like I'm having sex with him. I'm 13 and I hear my mama's voice in my head. I'm 13 and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm 13, but I still wear Heartbreak's ID badge around my neck and his ring around my finger. I'm 13, and his lips were chapped. He kept his tongue in his mouth. It wasn't special. I never assumed it'd be. I didn't feel different. He smiled real sneaky. I'm 12, and I know who Heartbreak is, but I don't know what he'll mean. I'm 12, and already taking my choices way too seriously to the point where I rarely choose. I'm 12, and my first fake boyfriend is a black boy with red hair. I'm 12, and our entire class is surprised, not because they all liked him, but because I like him. I'm 12, and he's clearly a good, nice boy, almost too innocent. I'm 12, and I make him jump through hoops before I sit with him at lunch. I'm 12, and I feel 100 eyes on my back. I'm 12, and I already hate people in my business. I'm 12, and he texts to ask if he can kiss me after school tomorrow. I'm 12, and it just never happens because I don't know what it means to be asked things. I'm 12, and Heartbreak sits across from me at the lunch table while sitting next to another girl. I'm 12, and I'm not stupid. I'm 12, and they go together, but I don't care because I can't feel. I'm 12, And I know heartbreak really likes me because I'm always catching him staring with the best eyes. I'm 12, and he tells a friend to tell me that he likes me. I'm 12, and I know heartbreak is a hothead with a nice face. I'm 12, and ain't really thinking about no boys, let alone waiting for them to see me. I'm 12, and the only thing I'm sure of is how afraid I am of them. I'm 12, and it's hard to explain or excuse, but this fear I got is what lets me know I have to try. Thank y'all. I hit the time. Are we doing questions? Thank y'all for listening. I hit 30 minutes on the mark. Look.
Okay, so does anyone have a question for Kendra?
And don't be nervous. You could literally ask me anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I just had a quick question on like what makes repetition your favorite literary device. I'm just curious.
That's a great question. It's my favorite because it allows me to access memory in a different way. Like if I think that's why people say get a routine or like get into a habit, and the more that you do something over and over, you have access to memories that you maybe repressed or forgot about. And it allows you to connect the dots. Like I can connect the dot of like me thinking having multiple boyfriends at once is normal because my daddy had multiple girlfriends at once. Like, so the more that I like repeat those things, it connects the dots for me. And also music, I always got to bring music into it. And like, we love a hook, we love a bridge, and like, we like it because of the repetition. It allows us to remember it in a certain way. And I think it's very important with anything I write, with poetry, with nonfiction, with fiction. Like I want to be able to say the same phrase over and over and then add something to it at the end. And it can transform time as well. So if I'm saying something over and over, a sentence can be in 2018 and it can be right next to a sentence from 2003 and it still remains true because like that repetition has built up a rhythm in order for like the reader and the writer to connect dots, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so building off what you just said, this essay starts at 14 and goes back to 12,
Yes.
but it also maintains like a thought progression, like despite time. Like, how do you view like temporality in writing and your work?
Oh, that's a great question. I've never been asked that question. I don't know. I think, repeat the last part because I want to make sure I'm answering it.
I don't know, just talk about time.
Okay. Yeah, so this is like a thing I learned in therapy, that time is not linear. And even when you write, like we try to start from the beginning and then go to the end, and that's not how thoughts work, and that's not how time works. Like we're all in here right now, and if somebody was like, write a paragraph about what you're experiencing, all of us is gonna have different timestamps, different points, different experiences, even though we're all in the same space. And I think like when I write stuff from the end to the beginning, it allows me to be more honest. Like when I stop thinking of time as like a linear thing and something that is absolute, because it's not. Time and memory is not absolute. So like the more that I try to skew it and mess around with it with repetition, like putting those other devices in, it allows time to feel true to me versus like trying to get it right. I think that's the thing. Like I don't want to write anything with the notion that like I got it right, because that's not how that shit works in your mind. Even reading that, I was like, oh, no, I should have, like switch that around. No. So it's never done, but I think that's a testament of time as well. So I knew I wanted to do that. And I just like trying stuff on the page. Yeah, I hope I answered that. It was like a weird answer. I hope I answered that. Yes. Okay. Oh, it's people on the screen? Hey, y'all. I didn't know what that was. I just saw somebody left their laptop open. It's a question back here. It has not whatsoever. I really want to stress that. We be talking about writing, it's like it's therapy, it's not therapy, it's not therapeutic, therapy is therapy, go to therapy. I think if anything, writing allows me to see that I need to do some healing, like finishing, this is all a childhood memoir, so nothing really goes past the age of 17 or 18 in here. And writing it, it was like, oh my God, Kendra, like, you mentally ill. That's literally like the thought. And it allows me, writing has allowed me to see like character flaws in myself, the way that I shut down, the way my parents have emotionally neglected me a lot of my life, how I had to be an adult as a child. So it hasn't healed anything, and I never want you to write anything and think that it will heal you. In fact, it'll just blow up all the bad shit that you've been trying to forget. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And I should say, I also am not sure if I believe healing is like a possible thing, not like completely, like we're always going to be pissed off about some stuff and triggered by some things. I don't think it's something, but like you can get the tools to help you deal with those triggers better. Yeah. That's a great question of do I choose not to think about the people who's gonna read all my personal business? I think it's like a 3 answers to that question. Part of me don't assume people are gonna buy the book and read it. So I'm just like, oh, it's just out there. And then like somebody will message me and it's like, oh, thank you for this. I'm like, oh my God, like why would you do that? So it's that, but then also when I first started writing, I was just writing personal narrative, so I didn't really know I had the option to not tell all my business. It felt like the one thing that got me through college, if I'm being honest, like that got me through like those 4 years, like just writing about my childhood. And it is scary to know that people are resonating with it so much, because I think a lot in childhood we think our situations are insular and like singular and like only we are going through the things that we're going through, but it's been kind of comforting to know that we all kind of feeling the same thing. We all depressed, we all got anxiety, we all don't know how to deal with that shit, we all are like misdiagnosed and all these things. So that's comforting, but I think now I'm at a point where I've written about it so much that I don't want to do it anymore, if I'm honest. Like, I had a moment after this book came out, which I'm still kind of going through, of like, do I want to write still? Because when I think of creative nonfiction, I think of loss because of these books, which is weird. I'm oversharing. That's like a problem for me, but I'm not going to stop. But it's been like, so one book comes out and I haven't spoken to my dad in 4 years. Another book comes out, like me and my mama's relationship is strained, and like she's felt like my only friend for like my whole life. But then writing this book, that healing of like, oh, you might have been the problem this whole time, and I just didn't know it. So it's like those things. So yeah, it is weird to know people are reading things that I've never told anybody in life, and not even myself until I wrote it down. But it's been comforting to know that you're not alone, which is like really all we can ask for. Yeah. I hope I didn't like bring the room down with that. But write your stuff. Thank y'all for listening and engaging and laughing. Thank you. And thank y'all for showing up. And don't feel pressure to purchase the book, but come talk to me if you want.